purchasing the AP History Student Success Planner? Maybe you did purchase it. If so, thank you. This video is made to walk you through how to use the planner. It's not really that complicated, but I wanted to let you know what each of the parts mean for it. This is just the cover for it, whether you have the PDF version or the actual book itself. The cover is going to be the same. And as you can see, it is meant for AP European History, AP US History, and AP World History because the courses are quite similar in their structure and in their skills. So this is what the cover looks like. And let's get to the inside. Week 1 is the week that you are starting to use the planner. And for some of you, that could be August or early September. And for others, it might be January and you're just finding the planner and starting to use it now. That's fine. There's no hard and fast dates on here. As a matter of fact, you'll be able to kind of keep track of the dates. So for week 1 dates, just write in whatever week 1 is for you. Location and time period have to do with the class that you're taking. Now, if you're taking a push, chances are the location is the United States, although maybe you're more focused on the southern states leading up to the Civil War, or maybe you're focused on the western states after Manifest Destiny. But it's just to be aware of the location or locations that you are studying and knowing where they are on a map. Time period could be the whole big time period of a unit of study, or it might also be just a few years that you're covering that week in class. So again, that's to help you with contextualizing and knowing where you are in history. Textbook pages would be referencing what pages you were reading that week for your class, or perhaps what was assigned for homework. And other resources would be, what other resources are you using that you want to make note of in case you want to go back to them. And then here's your little countdown to the exam. The exam is blank, which is blank weeks away. So every week you'll be writing down the exam is May, whatever the date is, and then kind of keep a running tally of how many weeks it is. Find that date, count backwards. For week 1 you have to figure it out, but from every week after that, it's 1 less than the week before. Pretty simple. All right, then to look below that, your objectives and your key concepts are, what were the objectives that the teacher has for class that week, or what key concepts are you covering from the curriculum and exam description? Which thinking skills are you using? There are going to be some weeks where you're going to use all 3 of them, and you need to be aware of when they're being utilized, and then write down what some of those examples are, because you're going to want to hang on to those throughout the year and for your exam. Then below that, we have contextualization. Even the first week of the course, you should be contextualizing where you're starting in history. What happened that led up to that moment in history? And contextualization is a super important skill that you're going to need when you write your big essays on your AP exam. So you want to be aware every week what is the context of the time and place and people and ideas that you're studying. All right, so then we're going to go to the second column on the first page. At the end of the week, Friday perhaps, Saturday morning, you're going to summarize what the key content was that you learned about. Every week, I want you to start summarizing your learning. And then what were some of the key terms that you learned about? Vocabulary words. What were some of the important people or groups of people that you learned about? And then I know I didn't give you a lot of space here, but what other questions do you have, or what other notes do you want to make here? Now, if there's ever not enough space on a piece of paper or in a box that I've given you, you could get like these little sticky notes or even the bigger sticky notes and just kind of put them on there as an extension of that space. Now let's move on to page 2, where we give a little time or space to time and task management. Write down your homework assignments, when it's due by, check it off when it's done, because we all really like to check off those finished things, which is staying focused on the big picture. This is largely a focus on the skills that you've practiced. Over the course of the year, you should be writing thesis statements, contextualizing, summarizing documents, analyzing documents, corroborating arguments, and modifying or qualifying arguments, which those last two things are, the big golden unicorn point that everybody tries to get on their essays on the AP exam. So these are skills that you could check off when you know you've been working on them, or even maybe jot down next to them what it was that you did. And then under that, again, hopefully you are looking at documents on a regular basis. And those documents are historical evidence that you can use if it comes from your head as evidence beyond documents on your DBQ essay, or that you could use for evidence on your LEQ essay. So write down the documents that you've read, when they're from, who wrote them, and why they're significant. Again, not a ton of room here, but you could always add sticky notes. And then the last little part is a little space for acronyms. If you're learning a new acronym like DBQ or ARTS or SPRITE, write down what it is, what the letters stand for, and when to use it. Because the first time or two or three that you use those mnemonic devices, you may not be remembering what they stand for. So this will be sort of like your cheat sheet that you can go back and look for what they are and what they stand for. Sprinkled throughout the planner is little nuggets of help. Beginning with the end in mind, for example, is one of the, I think it's the first one that I have in here, that breaks down what the format of the AP exam is, what you can expect before you even start the course, and then little history helper, as far as what you have to write with when you take the exam if you're taking it in person. And then sometimes I sprinkle in just a little bit of extra reflection pages to help keep the pages evenly spaced. All right, so I hope that you have decided to purchase the Student Success Planner. If you have any questions about it, or if you already have purchased it and you have questions, please don't hesitate to email me at wendy@aphistoryhelp.com. I am not just here to sell you a book and forget about it. I am here to help you through the course. And also, don't forget, there is a podcast called AP History Help where you can listen to some AP History Help every other week of the year. Have a wonderful day.